and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor of the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Now, I should also say, don't forget the Tenkar's Tavern Discord server. Tonight was Frog Chat from 9 to 11. I had to drop out of the conversation because I had to put this podcast together, but it wound up giving me an idea of what to talk about for this podcast because we were talking about the popularity of D&D, especially 5th edition. And it's an interesting thing to look at because right now, 5e is in its 5th year. 4th edition only lasted 6 years. 3rd edition, depending on how you look at it, and there's many ways to look at it, 3rd edition either lasted in 3 years and got rebooted as 3.5, which lasted another 5 years. Or you can say 3X lasted 8 years. But if we go with Pathfinder, was a response to 4th edition. It kicked off in 2008 with 4th edition. Pathfinder wound up basically cornering the RPG market at the time. And it was really a continuation of 3X. So although Pathfinder itself, 11 years, if you look at it another way, you can say that 3rd edition in one form or another lasted almost 20 years, right? Lasted 19 years. Pathfinder 2, I think, is a significant enough break, just like other like 4th edition was a break from 3rd. But we are looking today at a popularity with 5th edition that we haven't seen since, I guess, what, the 80s? Actually, Bad Mike was saying during the chat tonight that he feels that 5e has blown that away in popularity, and he's probably right. Now, one thing that I find interesting about 5th edition and the way it's been managed is that Wizards of the Coast has gone away from having like staff mostly putting stuff together. It's usually freelancers or it is contracts with other companies to put material together for them to publish under D&D as opposed to coming from within the house. Now, I guess that means that you have less overhead, and the accounting boys, I'm sure, like it because it means that you don't have to worry about health insurance for all these people that are on your payroll. When you think back to the days of TSR, when TSR was growing, there were dozens of people on TSR's payroll at its height. I know that Wizards of the Coast, I used to joke about it, not in a good way, but in the, oh my God, the holidays are coming up. It's going to be the Christmas season at Wizards of the Coast. That means people are usually getting the gift of the pink slip. And that seemed to be going on for a number of years. I think it's slowed down or ceased, but I think it ceased because the number of people working at Wizards of the Coast is greatly diminished. Now, if we're looking at 5e right now is in its 5th year, released in 2014. If we're looking at it in that perspective, where is 5e in its lifespan? Again, we're looking at Pathfinder. Pathfinder 1st edition pretty much lasted 11 years, right? Taking it as itself, it's an 11-year lifespan before rebooting it. Now, why do you reboot a system? Generally speaking, you're rebooting a system with the excuse of you're making rule changes to make the game play better. But the reality is, there's a saturation point. That saturation point is when the core books are no longer selling. Okay, core books, when they are no longer selling, when everybody has your core books, everybody has your backstock, what do you have left to sell? That is the reason, I'm pretty damn sure, that Paizo rebooted Pathfinder with Pathfinder 2.0 this year. Wasn't a lack of a market for Pathfinder. Pathfinder was extremely popular. Depending on who you talk to, it was either running neck and neck with 5e in popularity or just behind it. Sure, it had been trouncing 4th edition. 5e obviously grabbed a huge part of the market. But third-party publishers were still making a good amount of money. The market was there for third-party publishers to make money off of Pathfinder, 1st edition. But Paizo wasn't making the money off their books. Therefore, you got to reboot the system with new rules, make the old rules incompatible, which they pretty much did, which means if you want to play the new version of the game, which everybody wants to play the newest and latest, well, not everybody, because I'm always sorry. I want to play stuff that makes me feel like I was gaming back in the late 70s and early to mid 80s. But you need something shiny to get people to buy your core books. And that means a new rule system, a new edition. And that's why Pathfinder 2 came out this year. Because market share was lost to 5e. Now, do you think that Pathfinder 2 is going to make up that market share? Probably not. But it's going to be a big boost for Paizo because they have new books that people need to play Pathfinder. What about 5e? 5e is 5 years into it. When does 5e need to reboot? I don't know. Because Wizards of the Coast has learned to really harness their customer base with their releases, whether they're themed releases or whatnot. And they're not just putting stuff out for the sake of putting stuff out, it seems. They're putting stuff out on a schedule that allows their customer base to spread out their purchases, especially if you keep up with it. I don't. I think Horde of the Dragon Queen, is that the right one? That was probably my last 5e purchase. I don't run it anyway. I got the core books around here somewhere. Oh, yeah. I see the core book monster manual from 5e. I've been told that the early prints of the 5e don't have a long shelf life if you actually use them. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've cracked my books open, but maybe if I do, the pages will fall out. Time will tell. So in any case, that's what we were talking about a bit on Frog Chat. Frog Chat, Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tavern Chat. I host Tavern Chat. That's Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. Join us. You never know who's going to stop by. Tonight we had I dropped in late, but Bad Mike Battleotto, Frog Guy Games, and North Texas RPG Con was in. Pex from Frog Guy Games. Old Man Grognard / Glenn Hallstrom, podcaster for many years of old school games. And you just don't know who's going to drop in. Once in a while, maybe even somebody like Bill Webb, Matt Finch, Zach Laser, and other names. So feel free to join us. All right, folks, on that note, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, and I will talk with you all tomorrow. Laters.